All right. So as I'm trending, or excuse me, as I'm searching, I definitely don't want to be trending, right? But as I'm searching Arizona news, this comes across the screen. Arizona border towns brace for impact from the passage of Prop 314. Let's see if this will play.
Major
Try it again.
Another major proposition we've been watching is Prop 314. This would make illegally crossing the border a state crime in addition to a federal crime. It would also stiffen penalties for fentanyl sales cases and criminalize using false documents for benefits.
The border, of course, a top issue in this election. And ABC 15's Amelia Fabiano watching the results quite closely overnight and now sharing what this does mean for the people of Arizona.
Yeah, so here's what we're looking at right now for those numbers. Prop 314 is passing with a yes vote from voters, about 63%, just under 63%. They're voting yes. So this means local and state police could be able to arrest migrants suspected of illegally crossing the border from Mexico outside those official ports of entry. This could also allow state judges to order their deportations. Before, that would only be a federal power, right? So this also protects those who enforce the law from civil lawsuits here in Arizona. None of this, though, will be enforceable immediately. A violator cannot be prosecuted until a similar law in Texas or another state has been in effect for 60 consecutive days. So this means the proposition actually might also not go into effect at all, as that law does remain tied up in court in Texas. We saw state lawmakers debating about this earlier in the year, back in September. Opponents of the proposition argued it would harm Arizona's economy and reputation, as well as lead to maybe racial profiling. Advocates, meanwhile, saying this is necessary to secure our southern border.
Prop 314 will make our communities less safe because it will divert our limited local police officers to duplicate the job of Border Patrol.
There are people smuggling drugs like fentanyl, which are killing our children, and they're human smugglers bringing in women for prostitution.
I mean, they're kind of blaming, they do this, they'll blame everything on the border. All right. And especially around selection time. Okay. And to me, this is kind of like a underlining kind of racism in Arizona form. You know, they connect our state with racism. And like I said, they like to blame a lot of the problems on the border, okay? So this could be the equivalent of, you know, I'm not saying it's the same, but the similar type of energy you get like with the 43 Monkeys story out of South Carolina, right? A lot of like racial like undertone kind of with that story. Obviously that could be a derogatory term towards black people. And you know, we had the Tuskegee University shooting, right? So this, like I stated, not being on maybe on the same level, but you get that energy, especially with around selection time. And the last video I did, uh, you could look at the thumbnail at the last video here on A to Z Decodes. It was connected to the Mexican mafia, right? And they said one of the guys shot someone because he was in bad standing with the group. But I mean, you get that the Mexican term in there, right? Okay, so
The other major proposition.
right, so look, right, this is the code that I utilize to show y'all that we live in a scripted world, and it doesn't matter where you're at. If you have a trending story, it's going to land by the numbers and just in the language forwards. If you utilize A is 1 all the way to Z, which would be 26, with, think about it, like A to Z decodes, A to Z, 26 letters in the alphabet. Look at when I put border town in the calculator, and it just gives me a number value for border town, and border town is right there in the title. Look, I get 134, and that's not going to change. That is what it is in that cipher. It's like this is already facts. Okay, but look, you see, you get 134. That's just the mix up of 314 for prop 314, right? Proposition 314. And that's very interesting because look at last Saturday. Look at last Saturday, the date right here, November 9th. Okay, but look at how Saturday was the 314th day of the year right there. You see that right there? And you see how they're giving us the forecast on the weather down below? You see that? Saturday right there. The 314th day of the year. That's interesting, right? Because it's Prop 314. Okay, and there's no way that that's a coincidence right there. All right? Okay, and right here in our article, this is news 3 on the picture here. And let me show you. Was it right here, AZFamily? Okay, but right here on this picture, and that's the clipping from the article up above. Look at law enforcement agencies in Arizona border towns are preparing to enforce immigration at a state level after Prop 314, also known as the Border Act, passed with close to 63% of voters. And I think you heard that in the video as well. 63% of voters in favor as of Thursday's results. Right? You see that right there? So that was 2 days before the Saturday. Right? So that was 2 days before the Saturday, and you see, remember how the Saturday was the 314th day of the year. But border towns also equals 63 in the reverse reduction cipher right there. Okay, to go with the 63% of voters in favor. And again, you see how just border town, you get the 134 there again, right? So 63, 63, and crossing the border illegally in between ports of entry has been a federal crime. Now Prop 314 makes it a state crime, granting police the ability to arrest migrants suspected of illegally entering through Mexico. And you get Mexico again. As I mentioned earlier, I just did that 2023 murders. I just covered that story. And again, in bad favor or in bad standing with the Mexican mafia, right? So you get Mexico again here. Kind of, we have a lot of people here from Mexico, right? And I'm not in their business, like, oh, are you here legally, illegally? To be honest, that stuff doesn't really bother me because I know they're not to blame for the problems here in the state or in the country. But again, they're referring to Mexico and Mexicans again, and this is just causing further divide also. Okay? There's deceiver. This is deception, really, right? Because I mean, there's a lot there's a lot of issues already going on in the country, okay? And they give us the characters on the world stage, puppets, right? Like think about on a just on a more mainstream level, think about like Diddy, right? They'll connect Diddy like with traffic, okay? Right? And that's questionable in my eyes as well, because again, those it's just a story, and those are just characters put there. And think about it, props, right? They're props, okay? But notice how they bring up Mexico again with the border here, granting police the ability to arrest migrants suspected of illegally entering Arizona through Mexico anywhere other than a port of entry. But look at in the code, Mexico equals 93 like Arizona border towns. And I'm already aware that you get the reverse, Arizona equals 39. And look how immigrant equals 139. You get the 39 in there. Arizona and Arizona border towns both equal 105. All right. Under state law, illegal entry will become a class 1 misdemeanor for a first offense and a felony for further offenses. It also gives state judges the power to order deportations, right? I want to put deportations and deport in the gematria calculator. Here, let me clear this out. Okay, so let me clear this out, and we'll just look at this just kind of on the fly and see what we get. Let me type it, I guess. Deport. Okay, deport. That's amazing right there. Okay, deport. And let me show you the definition. What is the definition of deport? Right here. Uh, Expel a foreigner from a country, typically on the grounds of illegal status for having committed a crime. So look at what we get on the fly here. Look at deport equals 84, just like Arizona equals 84. How about that? Okay? You see? So you see how this code is no joke. Deportation. Okay, look, check this out. Deportation right here. Look at the 137. That's the 33rd prime number. Okay? And not only does deport equal 33, Mexico equals 33. So look, deport and Mexico, how about this? Wow. So look at that right there on the fly. Do I need to zoom in a little bit? Look at that right there. That's absolutely amazing. Let me get rid of that. Mexico and deport, 33 and 30 in the same ciphers. Mexico's got 93, Arizona 39. Deport 84, Arizona 84. And deportation 133 or 137, the 33rd prime number when Mexico and deport equal 33. Okay? And even with the 30s, you get another 3 in there. So that's undeniable. And that is on the fly. And I don't mind doing that for you because I know this code lands and I know it lands heavy. Okay? And look at the article here, published November 7. And remember, 2 days later was the 314th day of the year to go with Proposition 314. Okay? Look, you got 42 date numerology with the date right here, published 11/7/2024. But 11 plus 7 plus 24, you get 42. Arizona equals 42 in reverse reduction. Okay? And it's a 100-day span from that November 7 date with the article. Include that date and you run it to Arizona's upcoming birthday, the founding anniversary of becoming a state, right? Admitted to the State of the Union, so you could say Arizona's birthday. Look, 100-day span, start to end, article to the upcoming birthday. But look how 100 days is the same as 14 weeks, 2 days. And that's the birthday for Arizona. Valentine's Day 14/2. So, what's going on with the numbers, y'all? And remember, Arizona added as a state in 1912. Currently, Arizona's 112 years old, right? But the birthday, the 14th day of the second month, 14 minus 2 is 12. So you get the 14-week, 2-day span, the article to the upcoming birthday, when that is the birthday, 14/2, okay? And you see right there, with close to 63% of voters in favor as of Thursday's results. And even that 63, we already connected it back here. Right there. Look, if let's say you sixes are kind of like nines, right? Even with the time down there, you get 90693 degrees. But look, say you just want to flip that 6 over, you get that 93. With Mexico 93, Arizona border towns 93. That's interesting, right? So you get that 3, 6, 9 kind of pattern going on there. If you wanted to look at it like that. All right. And just to kind of wrap it up here, look, the law enforcement agencies in Arizona border towns are preparing to enforce immigration at a state level. But law, I always see wall when I see law, and I think of Trump. And remember, the selection just hit. This this is going to be the president, right, for a second time, supposedly. I mean, we'll see. You never know in this country, right? But law, look at it backwards, you get wall, okay, and it's just minus 1L. But that's interesting, right? That's interesting, right? Is Trump gonna lay down the law? And I just kind of put that in there, writing on the wall. Okay, so let's play this.
With the passage of Proposition 314, I'm talking with immigration attorneys, local border officials, and law enforcement who will bear the brunt of the responsibility of this to see what the next steps are moving forward. The border is what brought these voters to the polls yesterday.
I'm just worried for my safety and for my future kids.
Proposition 314 allows state and local law enforcement to arrest people suspected of crossing the border illegally.
We've heard you, local law enforcement's heard you, and we're ready to go to work.
Arizona sheriffs tell me they're not surprised.
People were frustrated in the state. People saw the spirit and they saw a solution by passing this bill.
However, some question how this will work in practice.
It's going to be a challenge for us, understaffed police department, to be able to handle. It's going to be even more of a burden on our county services.
And police equals 33 as well, like Mexico.
because they do our jail.
For this attorney,
we have a real concern about racial profiling.
she wonders the
See?
impacts on especially sensitive cases.
Most of my clients are human trafficking victims. And so the idea that they could be prosecuted because they entered the country not through a port of entry, but because they were brought by a trafficker is very concerning, that we may actually be criminalizing someone who's been a victim of the very crimes that we're seeking to stop here in the United States.
The law would only take effect if a nearly identical bill in Texas gets through court. It's being challenged in the Fifth Circuit. If that happens, 314 still needs funding.
The will of the people has been spoken. Now, how do we support that?
With a new Trump administration on the way, some say his tougher border stance might even nullify the need for 314.
Now that takes off the pressure for Arizona and Texas, that we don't need to worry about doing this at the state level, because now the federal government is actually going to do their job.
In Phoenix, Lillian Donahue, ABC 15, Arizona.
All right.
With the
And the thumbnail hits very, very heavy right there. I want to go to the date calculator real quick before I get out of here. Let me log in. Let me share this tab. And let me show you again. This article was 11/7, but again, 2 days after 11/7. You see, that's just amazing, right? The 314 day of the year, 3/14. That's amazing with Proposition 314. Look how it leaves 52 days right there. 2 days after our article date, but look, leaves 52 days. Well, 52 equals president, government, and White House. And you get that 133 as well. So you get the 33 in there to go with that 52. How about that? President, government. And look, White House, white, this kind of racial divide going on. Think about presidential race, right? White, Mexican, right? And again, we had the 43 monkeys story, 43 monkeys escaping in South Carolina, a lab. And then we had the Tuskegee University, the historically black college. We had the shooting there, right? So now we get these stories about the border with more divide. Okay. And they mentioned police, right? Connected with the story. You see police has that 33 and 30 right there. Just like deport, 33 and 30. And remember, just like Mexico, 33 and 30. And those appear to all be in the same ciphers. Yeah, all in the same ciphers. Police, Mexico. And let me show you deport again. And deport right there. Remember, deport 84 like Arizona. But check that out. 33 and 30 all the way down. Deport, Mexico, and police. All right. So anybody, you can check this calculator out. It's for free. And there's a lot of undeniable stuff in there. Let me just put like Mexican in here real quick. Look at even Mexican, you get the 33. And look at that. 39 like Arizona. And we're seeing these numbers over and over. Okay, you see Mexicans got 69 like Mexico. Wow, that's amazing. You get another 33. So look, 33 all the way down the line. And you even get Mexican 120, and you get 102 with police in the same cipher. Mexicans got the 39 like Arizona. See, that's amazing right there. Mexicans got the 39 like Arizona, 69 like Mexico. Amazing. Okay. I was trying to think of some other things I could just do real quick on the fly. Okay, look. I don't think that we had that. Border Patrol equals 63. Let's see. Remember we had that percentage earlier. Look, Border Patrol equals 63, just like border towns, and with close to 63% of voters in favor as of Thursday results. So undeniable. Once again, another undeniable story, y'all. Okay? So Arizona border towns brace for impact from passage of prop. What about if I write Proposition 314 and write out proposition like that? Let me see. Proposition, I think that's how you spell it. 314. Oh my God, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Look at this. Well, remember 84 equals deport and 84 equals Arizona. Look at 480 is the area code here, but Arizona is the 48th state, and Arizona's birthday upcoming, Valentine's, the 45th day of the year. Proposition 314 equals 445 like 45, birthday 45th day of the year, and the 48th state 480, but look at the area code. Where is the 480 area code? Oh, they put an extra 8 in there. How amazing. Look, Maricopa and Pinal counties, as well as cities like Phoenix, Chandler, Scottsdale, in addition to Mesa. Mesa's where I'm at right now. Wow. 480, the area code you get with Arizona, as this is A to Z decodes. Speaking of the border, holy crap. Absolutely undeniable. And you get 480 with Proposition 314. And then the 45th day of the year, which you get 445. Oh, oh, oh. Magical. Right? Absolutely magical. Okay? And let me show you the 45th day right here. Look at the upcoming birthday for Arizona. 45th day of the year, like 445. Okay? Proposition 314. So I'm very comfortable leaving it at that. That is amazing that hit on the fly. All right. So again, Arizona border towns brace for impact from passage of Prop 314. Everybody go check out the Gematrinator 85 calculator and just play around with it. Don't be afraid. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have a local story where you're at, let me know and I'll break it down like this. I'll put it on Daily Decodes 81.2, the main channel I'm working with here with the trending daily stories. So if you have a trending story wherever you're at locally and you want me to show you how everything's scripted, just shoot it to me in the comments and I'll do the breakdown within a few days and I'll drop it for you. I'll link you to it even, no problem. So I appreciate y'all. This is A to Z Decodes with some undeniable connections, and numbers do not lie, as I have just shown one more time. So thanks for joining, or thanks for watching this, wherever you may be. If you like, go ahead and hit the like button. They say it helps. I don't know. Subscribe, or if you want to share, let's just help get this word out there. A fake world we live in. Until next time.